What's going on, Pat with 558 Copy Opera here? We are back. Welcome back to another video. So I literally just posted my why I left the Marine Corps video. If you can tell, the thumbnail in that video is this t-shirt. So now I'm recording why I joined the Marine Corps. Figured I'd record it while it's fresh on my brain. I don't have to do too much prepping to set it up. So why did I join the Marine Corps? Well, this will be a fairly shorter video than the why I left the Marine Corps. Let's get down and dirty. Let's get serious. I'm gonna set y'all down real quick. Lit. Let me sit with y'all. All right, let's chop it up. Ready? Why did I join the Marine Corps? Well, it all kind of started really as a joke. Me and my real good friend Jacob, who was basically like a brother to me. So I graduated in 2013. Me and Jacob were real close friends all through middle school, all through high school. He was one of the first people I met when I moved to the middle of nowhere, Aubrey, Texas. We played Pee Wee football together. We were kind of the bigger kids during Pee Wee, and in our town there was a weight limit to who could be running backs. If you were a big kid in that small of a town, you were kind of talked about more than other people because you were bigger than everybody else. And I think the cutoff for like the running backs was like 100 pounds. I was like 140 pounds in 6th grade, so I wasn't a small dude, and he was, I think, a little bit more than that. Plus, he's also much taller than I am. So we're real close friends. We graduated together. After we both graduated, we kind of sat around for a little bit. We went to the gym. I just stay as active as possible. And then one day my mom was like, hey, you need to figure out what you're gonna do. Fall semester of college is starting soon. And so I was like, pissed. What am I gonna do? And like I mentioned in a previous video, I walked into college, the community college that was just down the road. I walked into the college, the lady was just rambling off stuff, shooting it faster than a 240 at me. And I told myself right then and there that college was not for me. I was not prepared to give my all to that, so I didn't do it. I walked out, I called my mom, I said, hey, the college isn't for me. I'm probably gonna join the military. She was like, okay, come home, we can talk about it. That's really not as easy as that conversation went, but in a nutshell, she was like, okay, come home, we can speak. So then I told Jacob, and I was like, yo, Jacob, let's join the military. And again, I think this is how the story went, and it might have went the other way around. He might have said, yo, I'm gonna join the military. Regardless, one of us said, let's join the military. And after that, kind of sparked some interest. So he said, I think I'm gonna join the Army. And I was like, okay, cool. I know my uncle was in the Air Force, and I know the Air Force is AKA the chair force. So I was like, I wouldn't mind sitting behind a desk and not being, in, what is it? Knee deep in the blank. I didn't want to be knee deep in the blank. So I was like, chair force it is. Like every other salty, Marine Corps vet or active duty, whatever, any other salty Marine, they're gonna tell you that when they went to join the Marine Corps, they first went to the Air Force office and the recruiter wasn't there. 9 times out of 10, that is true. I walked to the office, or I drove to the office, which was actually right by the college that I decided not to join. Drove to the office, and the recruiter was not there. So I was like, pissed, what do I do now? Right next door was the Marine Corps office. I looked at the door and I really thought to myself, do I want to join the Marine Corps? Do I really, I'm gonna not go to college because I can't get my mind right for that, but I'm gonna join the Marine Corps. At the time it seemed feasible. It seemed doable, right? So remember how I said Jacob said he wanted to join the Army? Well, I looked at the Marine Corps recruiting office and I said to myself, I'm gonna join the Marine Corps. I called my mom. I said, hey, I'm at the recruiting office. The Air Force guy was not here, but the Marine Corps guy is. She said, hold up, wait a minute. Come home and let's talk. So I go home, we talk it up a little bit. She kind of gets on board, kind of. I then tell Jacob, I was like, yo, you're gonna join the Army? I'm gonna join the Marine Corps. And he was like, bet, I am too. And I was like, I didn't expect you to follow me, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe it went the other way around. I'm not entirely sure. This was, you know, 6 years ago. So we're both, or no, the following day, I'm in the office with my mom. And at the time, Sergeant Reynolds, who is now Staff Sergeant Reynolds, if you're seeing this, thank you, bless up. I'm sure like all recruiters that like they're supposed to do, you know, they took care of their police, they took care of their, you know, civilians, making them into Marines one day. He really took care of me, took care of my family, he took care of us, you know, as a whole. And then he also took care of Jacob very, very well. Ran us through the whole process. You know, there weren't too many hiccups. They didn't play any, like the Marine Corps calls them, blank games. And then from that point on, after I went into the office with my mom there, it was game on. In the office, he gave me 3 little cards to choose from. You know, 3 things that I wanted to get out of the Marine Corps. And I picked competition, education, and travel. And I got exactly those 3 things. I got the competition as far as the promotion went. I got competition as far as sports within the Marine Corps. I got competition as far as excelling in my own workspace, you know, peer to peer. I got travel because right after boot camp, I went from Texas to San Diego, from San Diego to, well, Camp Pendleton, which is still California, but then I went from Camp Pendleton to North Carolina for 3 months, and then from North Carolina I came back to San Diego. I spent some time in San Diego, and then I did some trips back and forth to Arizona, and then I went on deployment to Kuwait. From Kuwait, I visited Jordan, Iraq, Al-Assad, TQ, some other places, came back, and then I spent the rest of my time in San Diego. So I got my competition, I got my travel, and now my education. I got my education because I got the GI Bill. School is paid for. I get paid to go to school, a hefty amount of BAH, and then really any school. I say any school, but it's not any school. Majority of schools that I want to get into, I can't get into. I just have to, or in order to get in, some schools require a already prerequisite GPA of a certain number or higher. The one I'm going to just requires you to have a 2.0 in high school in order to go, and I have to maintain a 2.0 or higher to stay in, so that's not hard at all. Those are the 3 things that I wanted to get out of the Marine Corps. But then after it was all said and done, after we visited MEPS a couple times, and MEPS is where you go to do your exam, you talk to more like Marine Corps liaisons, you talk to a bunch of different Marines, period, and that's where you go to swear in, you do the whole right hand up, say the oath, and then you leave, I think, the following day. We visited MEPS a couple times, and then it all kind of became real to me at that point. So then my recruiter said, hey, you guys, this was in like November timeframe, December. My recruiter was like, hey, you guys won't leave until March. And that was fine with me because, you know, I was babysitting at the time. I was mowing yards, you know, I was pulling in extra cash to kind of save up and have with me. And then in between time, me and Jacob were still working out. We were still hitting the gym, you know, kind of following a diet a little bit. We were doing a whole bunch of YouTube searching on what we were gonna get out of boot camp. And that's kind of, you know, might have been messed up on our part, but I kind of had an idea of what exactly I was going to face in boot camp months before even going, because almost every single phase was on YouTube. And I say phase, you have phase 1, 2, and 3. Phase 1 is, you know, getting there, kind of getting into the routine. Phase 2 is you're in the routine, you're now doing Marine things, and phase 3 is you are now a Marine. And that's when the drill instructors then push you out of boot camp, basically, and you go on your 10 days of leave and continue your career to do what you signed up to do. So why I joined, it all kind of started as like a, I'm gonna be better than you, and it turned into a, well, now I'm on a 5-year contract, was on a 5-year contract being a helicopter mechanic. Kind of, you know, funny how it happened, and I've heard worse stories from worse, you know, cases of why guys join. Some guys actually joined on an actual bet, like, you know, I bet you $5 you won't join. $5 and you're gonna sign away your life for 5 years? No. So it's just simple stuff like that. I had a great time, like y'all heard in the previous video that I just posted. Literally, if you're watching this, I posted the video like 30 minutes before this. So that kind of wraps up this video of why I joined the Marine Corps. I had a fun time, no ill feelings towards it, no ill will towards it. I had a great time, and, you know, it was 5 years of fun. I got a whole bunch of stories that, you know, can't be told on YouTube. So that's it for this video, man. I love y'all. Y'all are my people. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit that post notification bell. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. Hey, if we broke 2 likes, let's break 3 likes in this video. I love you guys. DUMBBELL, alfieboyfit. We out.